Barrister Anne Diamond and the Deputy Editor of the Daily Express, Mick Booker. Really good morning to you both. It's like old times, isn't it, the three of us joining for a little paper review. Let's start with you, Mick, with the biggest story in town, I suppose, and this fascinating bit of colour from Tim Shipman in The Times. He calls it 4 dinners and a political funeral. Tell us more.
Yeah, well, if you're a fan of wondering how the government is going to solve out a pandemic, then don't read the papers this weekend. If you like political slapstick, then dive in. And this is particularly the best one. It tells you the entire story, and it's incredibly well sourced, it seems. And as you say, 4 dinners and a political funeral. And it's got the picture there, and there's 3 of them in this relationship, this marriage, with Dominic Cummings, Carrie Symonds, the Prime Minister's fiancée, and the Prime Minister. And it kind of takes you in a different direction, because it seems to be mainly about how Lee Kane, who was the Director of Communications, with this idea that he was going to become Chief of Staff. And from July onwards, there was a series of dinners between various people, including the Prime Minister, Allegra Stratton, the incoming head of press, and Carrie Symonds, Lee Kane, at these various dinners, various lunches, whether it be Chequers or Downing Street. In fact, last Sunday in Downing Street, Lee Kane and the Prime Minister had sausage and mash, we're told, together.
Lumpy mash, no less.
Lumpy mash with a bit of swede, we're told. And we get to that point. He thought he was going to be Chief of Staff. Then by Wednesday, it was still the thought that. Then it was time for the PM to ring the Queen. So Lee Kane left the room. Lee Kane came back into the room. He'd spoken to the Queen, but Boris Johnson had also, it seems, spoken to Carrie Symonds, we're told. And at which point, Lee Kane realised he wasn't going to be a popular Chief of Staff, particularly with Carrie and others in Downing Street who weren't a big fan of the way that he worked, the way Dominic Cummings worked, one of his allies. And from then on, it spiralled out of control. He offered his resignation. Then we had 48 hours, and then he and Dominic Cummings both left Downing Street. It's a brilliant piece. Like I say, it does sound like a big sixth form common room that's been going on while the rest of us have been struggling with a pandemic. And there's this idea as well, this brilliant imagery about Dominic Cummings, about what he loves to do is pretend to throw a grenade into a meeting as he leaves. He pulls the pin out and throws it in and just lets it go. It sounds like he's like Alan Partridge.
And Diamond, I mean, it sounds as though there's been briefing in every direction.